Fit to Love is physical, emotional, and spiritual fitness to achieve the happy life you deserve. From exercise to cooking, relationships, and spirituality, you'll find all the inspiration you need right here with our host, JJ Flizanes.
Welcome to Fit to Love, Movement Mondays, all about exercise, all about movement, all about you. If you have an exercise you'd like us to address on a future show, please make sure to send us an email, info@invisiblefitness.com. Enjoy the show. Today's show, the basics of rehabbing a knee joint. This topic, God, it goes back all the way to when I was in New York in my very first television appearance on NBC. I wanted to talk about the knee. And they were so excited because the knee was a different kind of topic, but nobody would allow me to actually talk about the knee. It's like, just go in there and show us a few exercises for the knee. The knee's a joint, okay? So I thought, well, let me teach you about the knee so that way you understand, and then anywhere you go, you'll understand how the knee works. But that wasn't interesting to them. So back in 1996 or 97, NBC had nothing to do with education of the knee. So let me explain, and I did this in the 3 worst exercises for your joints part 3. It was walking lunges. If you haven't seen that and you do have knee problems and you are doing walking lunges, I would recommend going back to the 3rd video of the 3 worst exercises for your joints. All right, so your knee, and I explained this first. This is your femur, this is your thigh bone, your tibia, which is your shin bone, and the knee is the combination of these 2 bones coming together plus your patella. Your patella is that kneecap that's not attached. It's encapsulated in your patellar tendon, which is attached and connects these 2 together. We're not going to pay attention to the patella right now, although patella tracking is very important for comfort when you're moving your knee. And sometimes that might be an issue. Maybe you have bursitis or you've torn your patellar tendon. We're not going to deal with that today. Right now, I'm just going to basically explain when you're rehabbing a knee, what you want to concentrate on. Because too many times I've got clients with knee issues or they've had physical therapy or the orthopedic tells them to do exercises for the knee. And again, what is that? Your knee is a hinge joint. This is all it does. If it rotates, because you've got ligaments that connect and hold it together like Band-Aids. You've got them on all sides, you've got them in the front, you've got them in the back, you've got them on the inside to hold it together. This joint is not supposed to rotate. That's when you tear things and rip things. It's a hinge joint. So let's look at this. It's also connected to 2 ball and socket joints. The hip joint above is a ball and socket joint. This has rotary motion. It has all kinds of movement. On the bottom, we've got the ankle, and the ankle's also rotary. It also moves around. And the connection between these 2 joints is dependent upon the above and below ball and socket joints. So when you're looking at rehabbing the knee is a resultant in physics. If it doesn't decide where it goes. How the knee comes together is dependent on the joints above and below it because they rotate around. So if this joint is rotating all around and this joint is rotating all around, I have a disconnection in my knee joint. So the result of the knee is all about the stability in your hips and your ankles. Now, yes, you have your quadricep muscles in the front, you have your hamstring muscles in the back, you've got your adductor muscles in the inside, you've got your abductor muscles on the outside, you've got rotators and your hip flexors, you've got all kinds of muscles that help keep you stabilized. But when it comes to rehabbing your knee joint, you have to work on balance and stability of the rotary joints, of the ball and socket joints, of your hip and your ankle to maintain this connection, and also awareness. In a previous show, we did mindfulness and exercise. I'd watch that too, so that you really understand that you're in control of your body, and the more in tune your brain is to the muscles and the way the bones are placed and moving, you'll have less injury just because you're aware of it and then you get to control it and you understand it. But if you're just sort of moving around and you've got no connection from your brain to your body, you're always susceptible. If there's no stability or strength in your hips and none in your ankles and you roll your ankle, there's a tear in your knee right there. So the knee, while it's a really injured joint, we're focusing on the wrong muscles and we're focusing on the wrong motions. So when rehabbing your knee, remember, work on balance and stability. Next week, I'm going to show you a few exercises that you can use to start to rehab your knee.
The Fit to Love podcast show offers you 6 days a week of helpful content to achieve the happy life you deserve. Movement Mondays and Tasty Tuesdays are weekly videocasts, while Wellness Wednesdays, Thoughtful Thursdays, Freedom Fridays, and Sexy Saturdays are audio-only shows themed every week to address your holistic life and needs. If the show inspired you, we would love for you to share it and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today. Head on over to fittolove.tv for recaps of every show, resources, and to join the community. That's FIT, the number 2, LOVE.TV. Have a fit and fabulous day.